Air spring or airbag in suspension system. Air spring is a shock absorber that uses pressurized air as a cushion instead of metal spring. In suspension system there are three common types of air spring. The factory-installed coil springs on your 4WD vehicle or muscle car have limited capacities. When this capacity is reached, the rear end of the vehicle begins sag, which can cause the vehicle to bottom out and diminish driving performance. Air spring system including coil spring airbag, sleeve air springs and rubber bellows are designed to better distribute the weight of these loads, as well as provide a greater level of performance controls for the driver. Yet, each type of air suspension system provides benefits, and it's important to choose the type best suited for your application. For example, rubber bellows have greater lifting capacities, that's why they have been used commercially in trucking for decades. Sleeve air springs and coil spring airbags, on the other hand, provides greater control for driving dynamics, while also offering a solution for load distribution. Typically, vehicles are built with a factory coil spring. Air springs are bolted directly to the vehicle's frame and replace the coil spring altogether, while coil spring airbags are fitted inside the existing coil spring to provide reinforcement. Here's we are going to describe each type as follows. Rubber bellows air spring. Bellows are a common type of air spring, and this type of airbag offers several benefits. First, the bellow is typically constructed out of reinforced rubber and has single or multiple chambers. The shape resembles a coffee can. Due to their larger diameter compared to sleeve and coil spring airbags, bellows can accommodate heavier loads. Plus the design allows the air spring to lift heavier loads at lighter PSI pressure, which makes it load distribution easier. That's why bellows are typically installed on towing vehicles, 4WD trucks and off-road SUVs. Sleeve-style air springs. Sleeve air spring are also cylindrical, but they have a small diameter compared to rubber bellows. Typically, these air springs are built with a reinforced rubber or a heavy-duty synthetic rubber compound like polyurethane. The biggest difference is that sleeve air spring are designed for lighter loads and they're often used for adjusting ride height. For example, in hot rod design, this means that if rebuilt or modified for high speed and fast acceleration in automobile car, sleeve air spring are used to increase the traction and adjust the height of the vehicle. Coil spring airbags. Unlike sleeve or bellow air spring, coil spring airbags are fitted inside the existing factory-installed coil spring. Thusly, the goal of the coil spring is to provide additional support to the spring, which helps to provide better stability and more evenly distribute the weight of the load instead of acting like a spring though. These airbags cushion the spring. For example, if you were towing a load, the coil spring would naturally push together and the coils would get closer together. A coil spring airbags, though, expands outward limiting how close the coils can get together. From trailer towing to track performance, air springs can provide a greater degree of stability on the road and help level towing loads. Air suspension can provide a number of benefits for drivers, but it's important to choose the air spring best suited for application. As a conclusion, air spring are very important in field of automobile engineering because it helps us to absorb shocks, increase the height of the vehicle by inward and outward decreasing height. Subscribe on Golden Gear Mechanics.